Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're going to build a step-by-step guide for anyone out there who's feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or maybe just completely paralyzed by the challenges right in front of them.
Let's just dive right in with this incredible idea from a Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius. This isn't just a clever line, you know? It's a formula, a timeless one, for turning every single negative situation, every single roadblock, into your path forward. What stands in the way becomes the way.
So where are we getting this from? The core wisdom here is distilled from Ryan Holiday's amazing book, The Obstacle is the Way. What we're doing here is breaking it all down into a practical toolkit, something you can literally start using the second this is over. All right, so here's our game plan. Think of it like a training session, right? We're going to start with why we get paralyzed in the first place. Then flip the script on what a problem even is. After that, we'll get into the practical tools, build up that mental toughness, and finally, learn how to embrace, everything. It's a journey from stuck to unstoppable.
Okay, first things first, let's talk about being paralyzed by our problems. We have to acknowledge why we get stuck. It's so important to start right where you are. You know that feeling, right? Of being totally boxed in by something you just can't seem to figure out.
You know, when we run into a brick wall, these reactions are totally normal, right? Fear, frustration, anger. I mean, who hasn't felt that? But here's the thing, and it's a big one. Those feelings, as real as they are the very chains that keep us stuck.
And let's be honest, we are masters at making excuses. We have a whole catalog of reasons why we can't do something. I'm too scared. I don't have the time. The timing's not right. We build this perfect case against ourselves. But the source material is really clear on this. The real problem usually isn't out there. It's in here. It's our attitude and our approach.
Okay, so how do we actually fix that? How do we change that attitude? Well, that brings us right to our second section. The obstacle is the way. This is about a radical shift in how you see things, and there's an old Zen story that just nails it.
So, get this. There's a king, and he's worried his people have gotten a little soft. So he puts this massive boulder right in the middle of the main road, completely blocking off the city. And then he hides nearby just to see what people will do. It sounds mean, but he was trying to teach them something fundamental about facing adversity.
So what happens? The richest merchants and the most powerful people in the kingdom, they come up to the boulder and they just start complaining, loudly. They curse their bad luck, they blame the king, and then they just turn around and leave. For them, the obstacle was just a dead end. Game over.
But then, this lone peasant shows up. He doesn't complain, doesn't throw a fit, he just starts trying to move the thing. And it's hard work, but he eventually gets it out of the way. And what does he find underneath? A bag of gold, and a note from the king that says, "The obstacle in the path becomes the path." Wow. The lesson couldn't be clearer, right? The prize, the opportunity, it's hidden inside the very thing that looks like it's stopping you.
And look, this isn't just some nice story. It's literally a blueprint for how great people think and act. We're talking about everyone from the Haitian general Toussaint Louverture, who was a master of turning disadvantages into advantages, all the way to the entrepreneurs of Silicon Valley. They don't just put up with obstacles, they use them. They use them like fuel to make their ambition burn even brighter.
Okay, so we've got the mindset down. Now it's time to build the skill set. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Welcome to part 3, the discipline of action. This is your practical toolkit. All right, here are 3 super powerful techniques you can use. First up, flip it upside down. Think about that annoying email from a coworker. That's not just an insult, right? No, it's a chance to see their playbook and practice your own composure. Second, use it as fuel. You missed a big deadline. You're frustrated. Don't waste that energy complaining. Channel it. Make it into laser-focused energy for what's next. And number 3, flank it. Stop banging your head against the wall. If the front door is locked, find a side door. Climb through a window. Look for the unexpected approach.
Okay, but what about those times when you're just completely, utterly overwhelmed? You've got to shrink your world. Number 1, focus only on this moment. Forget the giant mountain you have to climb. Just look at the very next step. Number 2, do the small part right in front of you. Just write 1 sentence, send 1 email, make 1 call. That's it. And third, do your job and do it right. Put all your focus on your effort right now, not the outcome. These tiny wins, they build a momentum that becomes unstoppable.
This quote from the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. This should be your new mantra. Persist and resist. What does that mean? Persist in your efforts, no matter how tiny they seem, and resist the urge to get distracted, to get discouraged, to get pulled into drama. It's so simple, but man, It is not easy.
Look, these tools are awesome, but to make them stick, we need to go deeper than just one-off tactics. We need to forge a lasting foundation of mental strength. And that brings us to Section 4, Train Your Inner Citadel.
So this is the end goal, building what the Stoics called an inner citadel. It's like a fortress inside your own mind that nothing from the outside world can touch. No chaos, no drama, no crisis can breach its walls. It's your source of unshakable calm, and you build it brick by brick every single day.
So, how do you build it? How do you train? You start with all the annoying little things in life. A flight gets delayed. A project hits a snag. That coworker who drives you absolutely bonkers. These aren't just annoyances. This is your gym. These are the weights you lift to practice patience, creativity, and keeping your cool. Every little frustration is a chance to add another brick to that citadel. And the state you're aiming for is what the ancient Greeks called apatheia. Now, this isn't about being a robot with no feelings. Not at all. It's about freedom. Freedom from being yanked around by irrational, extreme emotions. It's about having that cool head that lets you see a situation clearly and act effectively, no matter what kind of storm is brewing around you.
All right, we're at our final section, and honestly, this might be the most powerful one. It's called Embrace Everything That Happens. This is the art of acquiescence, and it's where we change our entire relationship with fate itself.
The concept here is called amor fati. It literally means a love of fate, and this is huge. It's not about just gritting your teeth and putting up with bad stuff. No, it's about learning to genuinely love it, to embrace every single moment, especially the hard ones, because you see it as an opportunity to practice courage or patience or wisdom.
Why? Because here's the absolute core truth of all of this. We don't control what happens to us. We just don't. But we always control our will, our choices, our responses. And when you focus exclusively on what you can control, you stop wasting all that energy on what you can't, and you magnify your real power.
Let's break this down. It makes it so clear. You can't control the economy, right? But you can control your work ethic. You can't control how other people act, but you can always control your own integrity. You can't control the final outcome of a project, but you 100% control the effort you put in. See? This isn't about being weak, it's about being smart about where you apply your strength.
So it all comes down to this. The world is going to keep throwing things at you. It's going to test you every single day with big challenges and small ones. The question is never if you're going to face an obstacle. The only question is, are you going to let it block you, or are you going to advance because of it?